the first step was to ask questions and to look inward and to say, why am I unhappy? What do I actually want? What should I be doing with my life? When I heard about this thing called minimalism, the biggest thing by far, it helped me redefine what I saw success as. Small projects, not staying organized is a pretty big problem. For the big projects, if you're not organized, it's a massive problem.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 for my top 10. Top 10, 9. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to make your own opportunities, don't be a perfectionist, and redefine success with Matt D'Avella and my take on his top 10 rules of success to give you the confidence, motivation, and belief that you need. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule #1. Ask questions.
I'm not too big on the law of attraction and the secret and that kind of stuff. That's, to me, tends to go a little bit too much in the direction of frou-frou, as I like to call it.
Or woo-woo.
Oh, woo. Maybe woo-woo is the word. I say
the woo-woo kind of, yeah.
Frou-frou maybe just
frou-frou woo-woo.
Yeah, brings it down to another level. But the way that I see it, and the way, so going out and talking to all these people through minimalism and learning about their experiences about how they struggled in the very beginning. They were stuck at a point where, they were either overweight, they were unhappy, they were in a job they didn't like, all of them, across the board, that's what their lives were like. And every single time, the first step was to ask questions and to look inward and to say, why am I unhappy? What do I actually want? What should I be doing with my life? These are questions that I don't think most people ask. I think most people tend to get caught up wherever they're at and they're just thinking very micro. They're like, well, if I just get this promotion, then I can do this and then maybe I can switch jobs to this. And it's very small as opposed to saying, well, what will fulfill me? What will actually make me happy? Those questions are more difficult and they're questions you have to continually ask yourself. Like you had gotten to a point where you felt like you were doing very well and you were getting paid as an actor and a voiceover actor. And then now you're like, well, what can I do next? What should I focus on this year? And I think people have to continually ask themselves these questions.
Oh, yeah.
And continually look at themselves and figure out what you should be doing right now.
Rule #2, make your own opportunities.
You really have to work hard and you have to get good at what you do because
Sure.
even if that opportunity would come about and you suck,
Yeah.
nobody's going to give it to you.
Preparation.
You have to be, you got to be ready for it. And then if you get the opportunity, there's a certain amount of luck that is attached to that. I look back at any big opportunity, any big project I've ever worked on, it's just a matter of circumstance and me just happening to meet the right person at the right time.
Yeah.
But I think that if you aren't getting lucky, if you're not getting those opportunities, then you have to change something up, mix it up, maybe go out and network and meet new people and broaden your social circle. I think that there's a lot that you can do, to kind of open up the doors for luck.
Rule #3, don't be a perfectionist.
In a lot of ways, we want everything to be perfect before we show it to anybody. So we'll kind of hibernate in our little editing alcove, also as I like to call it, my bedroom, and we will work tirelessly to make sure that this edit is completely perfect. Whether it's a 5-minute edit or a 60-minute edit, we want it to be perfect so we can show it to people and they'll be amazed and they'll say, oh my God, wow, you're so talented. But the thing is, when you're working with other filmmakers, other creatives, you have to be able to get feedback from them. You need their advice. You need their input. You're not just making this for yourself. You're making this for hopefully a lot of people. And the people that are really important in the beginning are your co-producers and filmmakers. They're going to be able to tell you if you're on the right path. They're going to be able to give you really important input that's going to help to shape and craft this narrative as you create it over time. You can become a perfectionist later. There's going to be plenty opportunity for you to get into the details and finesse each transition and each audio bump. But for now, just whip something together, share it with your filmmaker friends and your co-producers, get some feedback, and then start to edit.
Rule number 4, redefine success.
I started to really think about how minimalism has changed my life, and when I first started getting into it, what were some of the biggest takeaways, and what were some of the most helpful things about minimalism as a lifestyle. And when I first found out about it, I was $97,000 in debt, quite literally living in my parents' basement, and obviously I was pretty bummed about it. I wasn't really happy with where my life was at the time. And when I heard about this thing called minimalism, the biggest thing by far, it helped me redefine what I saw success as. So I kind of had this equation in my head where I thought I had to get stuff and then be happy. I needed to get these things first, the house, the car, all that stuff that kind of would prove to both other people as well as myself that I was successful. But then when I realized I had enough stuff to be happy, I had food, I had a house over my head, I had people and friends that cared about me, I was able to kind of cut through that and say, you know what? I have everything I need right now to be happy. I can be content in the moment. And I don't need all these things in order to be happy.
Also, if you want to have more motivation and self-love, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
The people who win work the hardest because they love what they do.
In a success world, please understand that success is happiness, not net dollars in.
You have to go build self-confidence.
Rule number 5, build up a business.
I've seen so many people that are more talented than me not make it or give up on their art because they couldn't make money doing it or didn't think they actually could make money doing it. So I think it's incredibly important.
They're so sad. That's so.
Oh my God, dude, there's
so sad.
people that I like idolized and looked up to and said, like, I literally just copied frame by frame their videos because they were doing it so good at the time. And for whatever reason, they can't progress and build up a business out of it. But you need to have that. And so for you to be able to identify, to say, all right, well, like, I don't want to struggle. I need to be able to make money doing this. I think that's an important thing that differentiates you and me from people who perhaps may be doing it just for fun. Like, you need to make money. You need to get paid for your art. That's really important.
Rule number 6, be organized.
If you look at my timeline, or if you look at my bins and folders within Final Cut Pro 10, yes, I use Final Cut Pro 10, go screw yourself. You will notice that it is pretty unorganized. I didn't do a great job of it. I could have done a lot better. Small projects, not staying organized is a pretty big problem. For the big projects, if you're not organized, it's a massive problem. And I think if you go 3-4 months into a project without being organized, without really knowing where all your footage is, where all your content is, you're gonna be screwed. It's gonna eventually lead to a lot of headaches, and I'm 100% sure that it will lead to a worse product. The final project that you do will be worse if you're not completely organized.
Rule number 7, trust your intuition.
It's so important. And even starting minimalism, it was a very similar experience where we were going out on the road for a month or two. And I had known them, these guys, Josh and Ryan from theminimalist.com. I had known them, their work, and we had like been friends on Twitter. And then I did a client project for them for a day, and I met them in New York. But that was it. And then it was a couple months later, like just a few emails back and forth, nothing too big. And then it was like, hey, Matt, I want to make a documentary. And I was like, I'd been meaning to, and I always wanted to make a documentary about something I really cared about. And I actually even thought about this idea of doing a documentary on minimalism. And I was like, this is perfect. But then that was it. And then it's like, I showed up to start filming with them on tour. Like they picked me up at the airport, and I was like, I was super nervous. I was like, all right, guys, you ready to do this? And like, we really didn't, but then you develop a friendship, and I think in some ways we lucked out, but I think you have to trust your gut and intuition that these are people that align with your values and beliefs, and you're going to be able to work together on the project.
Rule number 8, don't get upset about the negative feedback.
I don't like reading reviews because like putting minimalism out there, like people write reviews. I just assume it's going to be the worst case scenario. Yeah. And I'm my worst critic. So I could probably pick out the holes better than a movie critic could. So I tend to not to even read them. I'm like, it's not even worth it for me. Because if it's good, I'm going to feel good. If it's bad, it's just going to ruin my day for the next like 3 days. But I just stumbled across some like Netflix reviews, and it's just hilarious. I think it's like the crazy people I'm okay with.
Yeah.
It's there's people that say, well, you can't be a minimalist. Like these people get $200 haircuts and they wear like nice hair product. I'm like, You don't even, that's not it. Like, you could wear a hair product. It doesn't matter how expensive your haircut is. You can be a minimalist.
Yeah.
That to me is easy, but it's like some of the feedback that's like cutting at, I guess, maybe some of my own insecurities about where I think I could have done better, which obviously you can always do better, which affect me a little bit more. And it's just something that I continue to work on. But I think the more and more I release content and put stuff out there, I have the same mentality of you, where it's like, you almost kind of encourage it, where I'm like, come on, like say something shitty about it, because I really don't care. Because as long as I really love what I created and I really like it, and I know that there's going to be a core audience of people that will like it, then I think that's all that matters.
Rule number 9, integrate business and personal life.
If you're doing it right, that your business and your personal life shouldn't necessarily be completely separate. Especially if you're a freelancer or business owner, I think that you should be able to integrate both of these. If you really do what you love and you're passionate about it, I don't think there's any reason that they should be separate. Yes, I don't think that when you're out with dinner with friends or with your girlfriend or boyfriend, you should be on your phone writing a blog post. That's not what I'm talking about.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is don't forget to have fun.
I started playing softball a couple years ago. This is it was last year that I really got back into it. And then joined up with this team. They're all great. Like, we were all free agents. Nobody knew each other going into it. And then now we're all good friends. But it's something that is not career driven. It's not business driven. It's nothing. But we actually enjoy to go out and play softball and have fun. And I think as you become an adult, you forget to have fun.
Yeah.
And then to do that, I think it's going to positively affect every other aspect of your life, because it's sometimes it is discouraging if you do continue to keep failing. But then to realize that that's not everything. That's not, you can separate the two of them.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Matt on how to make sacrifices that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. Where can you have more fun in your business this week? Number 2, how can you better integrate your business and personal life? And number 3, what's the negative feedback that you need to stop getting upset over? And if you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
You do have to be willing to give up some work. If you go on vacation, you go away for certain amounts of times, you go on the subway. There are certain times where you obviously can't get a hold of, and these are risks that you have to take. And obviously,
Absolutely.
the further along you get, when you get to doing feature length films and being the lead star in a major motion picture, you, I think, have a little bit more options, and you don't have to be available in the moment right now. Where those opportunities could slip by and you're okay with it, you have to be willing to accept. And this is something that I learned early on, where, when I try to prioritize and not look at email 100, 200 times a day, you have to be willing to let go of some work and to sacrifice some work. But it's just, it's personal decisions, and it's how much you want to be able to give up.
If you want to see the top 10 I did on Tim Ferriss, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
When you see someone who's doing something that you think is really incredible, you can either build yourself up or tear them down.